Hi there, Renee Sager, life coach, and I want to touch on carrying around extra guilt. This is something I see in so many people, a lot of my clients, and myself included, and I just really think it's a waste of energy. As human beings, we are typically incredibly hard on ourselves most of the time. And then we go down these paths that quadruple the pain or suffering or regret that we already feel. And the thing I want to offer you, or hopefully show you or teach you today, is that the guilt is optional, always. I don't care what it is that you do. Nobody is making you have to feel guilty. So, for instance, I see this with women who binge eat. It feels unpleasant. You're in the act, you're doing it, and then after you are filled with guilt and remorse and shame. Like if people only saw what I did behind closed doors, they would disown me. Like they would never want to have a relationship with me. They would never want to talk to me. So I'm going to carry this guilt and just like continue beating myself with this stick. Even though nobody else knows and nobody else is making you feel this way, it's almost like I can't let myself off the hook. I have to keep beating myself up. And that is not true. The guilt is always optional. I don't care if it's being rude to your spouse. I feel like if you mess up, whatever that is, and you are like, oh, it's no big deal, it's totally fine. Like, come on. There's definitely, if you say something hurtful, maybe you apologize, maybe you want to, but I'm talking about like hanging on to that gut-wrenching guilt that's just you're carrying with you day after day after day after day. That is the guilt that I'm talking about that we need to let go of. If something has already happened, there's nothing we can do about it. But sometimes I think subconsciously we think if we just bring it back, if we replay it, it's like I said, it's like hitting ourselves with a stick over and over and over, as if that's going to teach us a lesson to never do it again. That is not going to create the change that you want. I can almost guarantee it. With binge eating, as an example, when let's say you do this happens, you go through the day, you make it home, and then before you know it, you're in the cupboards looking for all the things. And then afterwards, what you just consumed kind of finally hits you, and you're thinking, how did this happen again? And then we go into that cycle. Okay, tomorrow's going to be different. I'm going to pull the reins back. I'm really going to tighten it up, and I'm not going to mess it up again. Or we eat more because we feel guilt and shame. Either way, this is not taking care of ourselves. The guilt does not inspire an action that typically feels good, that we want. So think about the guilt, the unnecessary guilt that you are choosing to hang on to, and ask yourself, why? And do I want to keep dragging this around? Do I want to keep loading it up into my purse, throwing it over my shoulder, and taking it with me everywhere throughout the day? And remember that the guilt is optional and it's not serving you. There are so many other ways of thinking and feeling that are going to produce what you actually want, and guilt just isn't going to get you there. Reminding yourself that you are doing the best that you can. I really believe that. You are doing the best that you can. If you are feeling guilty, what is something you can do, if anything, to alleviate some of that guilt? Is it making an apology? Is it what is it? But there may be nothing. There may be nothing that you can actually do. It may just be saying, listen, Renee, I get it. I did it. I learned from it. And I'm going to really, that's it. End of story. That's all you can do is be in that acceptance around what's happened and then where you're going next. So if you're carrying around that extra guilt today or this week, ask yourself why. Ask yourself if it's serving you and if it's actually moving you in the direction you want to go.